everyone out there, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, sorry, I'm just taking off my slippers here because they're in my way. There we go. Okay. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is women's health. And I want to share with you 8 healthy habits for women, some nutrition and lifestyle, and some hygiene habits that are good for us to be implementing in our lives on a regular basis. And let's dive in. One of the best things that you can do if you menstruate is to track your period each month. This helps you become familiar with your cycle and the various phases. Just tuning into our bodies in this way by understanding, at what points in our cycle we feel a different way or experience certain things. It can be really, really useful. Things like your average cycle length, how heavy the flow is, any symptoms that you might experience throughout the month, maybe around ovulation or in the days leading up to your period, things like pain or mood changes or acne, PMS. One of my favorite ways to track my cycle and how I feel throughout the month is by using a period tracking app, and I use the app Clue. I have talked about this app before. I've used it for so many years. Number 2 is to use natural and eco-friendly menstrual products. If you didn't know this before, the vagina is one of the most sensitive and most absorbent body parts. So we want to be careful with the things that we put on, in, or near it. And when it comes to conventional pads and tampons, many of them can contain things like dioxins from the bleaching process in the materials, which can be disruptive to our reproductive system and our endocrine system when we're absorbing those kinds of things, as well as pesticides from non-organic cotton. Cotton is one of the most highly sprayed crops out there, and also things like fragrances that can be irritating. A lot of them are also made with plastics and are not recyclable or biodegradable. So my favorites to use here are reusable silicone menstrual cups and organic and biodegradable pads and tampons. My favorite company ever being Natracare, which I have used for many years, and I am so grateful to have Natracare sponsoring today's video. So they use 100% certified organic cotton and sustainably sourced plant-based materials. They're also chlorine and fragrance free, and also on top of that, in 1995 they made all of their products plastic free, so they're completely biodegradable, which is amazing. They've got an array of products to choose from tampons to pads and liners. So there is a link for you to check out in the description box below for you to learn more about them and to check out all of their products. There are a few different minerals. There's a number of different minerals that are very important for our health, but there's a few of them that are particularly important for us, a couple being calcium and magnesium, but also iron. So if you are someone who menstruates, you do want to make sure that you are getting enough iron in your diet. Of course, not everyone's going to be iron deficient just because you have a period, but depending on how heavy your periods tend to be and a few other factors, iron deficiency is one of the most common deficiencies in women of childbearing age, just by nature of losing blood every single month. So some of the best sources of iron include things like beans and lentils, and spinach is great, as well as some animal-based proteins also contain pretty absorbable forms of iron. But I do want to point out here that pairing vitamin C with iron is a great way to help enhance iron absorption. So vitamin C actually works really well. They kind of pair together nicely. So this might look like having a lentil salad with some chopped apples in it, for example, or like citrus in a spinach salad. Protect your breast health with plants. And of course, eating lots of plants is gonna support your overall health and support anybody's health. But when it comes to breast health, there are a number of foods out there, namely cruciferous vegetables, that are great at helping to reduce excess estrogens in the body and any endocrine disrupting chemicals because of the different active compounds that they contain. And lower levels of estrogen in the body have been associated with a lower risk of things like cancer, including breast and ovarian and uterine cancers. Those cruciferous vegetables include things like broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage. What else? Bok choy, Brussels sprouts. These are some really great foods, but all kinds of plant foods. Lots and lots of colorful, fresh foods should be eaten every day. Get into the habit of including them with each meal, ideally. Number 5 is to eat more probiotic-rich foods. There is a very important microbial community inside of the vagina as well as our gut and different areas of our body. And having that balance of healthy bacteria is really key for overall health. If you want to, you can take a probiotic supplement. Not everyone necessarily needs to. It's something that you can, talk to your doctor if you have any questions about. But really what I would suggest here is try focusing on adding in some more probiotic-rich foods into your diet. That's something that's pretty easy to do. Fermented foods being what you would want to be looking at here. So kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt, and also reducing your intake of really refined sugars and grains can be really good for supporting a healthy and happy microbial balance. Next up is to wear breathable cotton underwear. There are a few different materials that can hold onto moisture and prevent proper airflow, such as nylon or lycra. And these types of synthetic fabrics can contribute to some more irritation, especially if you are prone to things like yeast infections or irritation. Then cotton is the way to go. It really helps to promote breathability and airflow. No matter who you are, anyone and everyone can experience issues with body image. But when it comes to the female body image, I definitely think that we are all very well aware of the many beauty standards that we have been confronted with. I mean, I'm very, very glad to see that we are making strides in society today to try and reverse some of this and to really encourage diversity. But I do want to share with you some excellent activities that you can put into practice to support just having a healthy body image. So some of these include reflect on what you love about your body and what you appreciate about what your body can do. Sometimes we get so caught up in what we look like that we forget about what our bodies are actually able to do, the things that the various body parts, organs, systems are actually doing for us every single day. And to remember that can also help to put things into perspective as well. Another thing that you can do is to focus on your positive qualities, maybe talents that you have or skills that you have, kind of focusing on your strengths. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses, everyone. But it can be really helpful to, get out of the headspace of focusing on all of our weaknesses, the things that we can't do or feel like we can't do, or the things that we are, comparing ourselves that other people seem to be able to do. And lastly, I want to mention here to catch yourself when you're in a moment of negative self-talk and to ask yourself where that's coming from, like why you are feeling that way. For example, a lot of times we can experience negative self-talk or feelings of negativity toward ourselves from scrolling through social media. I have experienced this firsthand. So for example, in 2008, there was a meta-analysis that was done, which is basically just an analysis of the results of many studies, that found a relationship between mass media images and kind of consuming those images and body image disturbances, people not feeling good about themselves as a result of seeing all these kinds of images. And so don't forget that so much of what we see online, so many photos that we see are curated very specifically, and a lot of times they're edited in certain ways. We all know managing stress is important, but when it comes to women's health, it's especially so because of how chronic stress can impact things like thyroid and adrenal health, PMS and other reproductive imbalances, and even fertility. And a lot of us have a lot going on in our lives. Maybe we are raising families, we've got kids, we have different responsibilities, work, career. I know it can be easier said than done, but do your best to find what works for you. Things like leaving your phone at home and getting out into nature. Nature can be absolutely profound for reducing stress levels. Exercise is also key, asking for help when you need it, taking time for yourself, therapy, and things like yoga and meditation are a few things to keep in mind here. Your body and your hormones will thank you for it. So that is it for today's video. I really hope that you found this topic and these points today helpful. I would love to hear from you. If you have any healthy habits that you enjoy, please leave them below. Once again, I want to thank NaturCare for sponsoring today's video, and I will leave any resources that I think you guys might find helpful in the description box, so don't forget to check that out as well, and I will see you all in my next video.